Okay. Just a quick question. You're gonna on the closed session. We got 4 matters, correct? And you'll just all 4 of them.
That is correct.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Joe or John, are you on? I'm John now.
John here.
Okay.
Evening, John.
Evening, how are you?
I'm well, sir. Thank you. Hey, Steve, a lot of people in place there. You and Byron, you're at the district. Is Director Wallace online yet?
Director Wallace is in the district.
Okay, so we have Byron here. Director Wallace is here.
And Greg.
Oh, Greg's at the district?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure when we start. Just when we start. Okay, yeah, okay.
I missed everybody too much. Oh, I'm sure.
I'm really, okay. Perfecto.
I like the truck. What do you pull up? Big trailer with it? Yeah, I got a Cougar. That's 12,000 pounds. Not too wow. Not too big. Trailer 12,000? Yeah, fifth wheel. Isn't that? How long?
Hey, directors. Hey, guys, it's 5. Hey, guys. Hey, it's 5:30. Hey, let's come to attention so we can start the meeting. Okay, Lizette, are you present?
I am here.
Can you, let's call the meeting order. Can we have roll call, please?
Yes. President Rick West.
I'm present.
Vice President Byron Glennan.
Here.
Director Ben Stewart.
Here.
Director Alfred Wallace.
Here.
Director Greg White.
Here.
General Manager Steve Perez.
Here.
Assistant GM for Secretary of the Sacramento President. Director of Public Works John Houghton. Public Works Manager Brock Smith. Legal Counsel John Comer.
Present. Can we stand face the flag if you're there? Can we have the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Hey, Byron.
Yes.
The singing is getting closer by the moment, young man. Can I have a motion for the approval of the agenda?
So moved.
The record show. We have a first by Director Glennan, and we have a second by, who gets a second?
Wood. Director Wood.
Okay, Director Wood. Okay. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
President Rick West.
Yes.
Vice President Byron Glennan.
Yes.
Director Ben Stewart.
Yes.
Director Alfred Wallace.
Yes.
Director Greg White.
Yes.
All right, well, at the record show, we had a 5-0 approval of the minutes. Can we get I'm going to read the public comment. At this time, any person may address the board on any subject within the district's jurisdiction, which is not on the agenda. However, any non-agenda matter will be referred to staff for a report and or action at a subsequent board meeting, when no action can be taken on any such item discussed unless action has been authorized under Section 549454.2 of the Governmental Code. Any person may also address the board on any agenda matter at the time the matter discussed prior to the board consideration and action. Speakers are requested to limit their comments to 5 minutes. At this point, let's open the floor to any public comments. Is there anyone from the public that would like to make comments at this time?
Please let the record show that the Rosamond News is present at the meeting.
That will show good evening, Mr. Joyce. Let the record show, please, that John Joyce from the Rosamond newspaper was present there. Any other one from the public there? Okay, at this time, with no other community members, no one from the public there, we're going to close public comment section, and we're going to continue down. Can I have a motion to go into closed session?
Second.
We have a motion by Director Glennan, a second by Director Woods. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
President Rick West,
Yes.
Vice President Byron Glennan,
Yes.
Director Beth Stewart,
Yes. Can you hear me?
yes, Director Beth Stewart. I'm sorry, you got muted. Director Alfred
Yeah.
Wallace and Director Greg Wood said yes.
Okay, so we have the okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Continue with that.
Oh, they all said yes.
Okay, let the record show that we had a motion, it was second, and we had a 5-0 vote by the directors to go into closed session. At this point now, we will be in closed session. GM Perez, you said on the format is correct, sir?
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right, at this point, let's go ahead and go into closed session. If you folks would go over here and sign off and go into the closed session agenda. Okay, see you on the other side. Closed session.
So moved. Second.
That was who gave the motion?
Byron.
Byron, who was the second?
It was Greg.
Okay, all right. There was a motion. There was a second. Can I get a roll call vote?
President Rick West,
Yes.
Vice President Byron Glennan,
Yes.
Director Beth Stewart,
Yes.
Director Alfred Wallace,
Yes.
Director Greg Wood.
Yes.
Okay, let me show that was a 5-0 vote to come into closed session. There was no reportable action for the closed session. And now let's continue. Let's start our open session meeting. Okay, I have read the public comment section. Is there anyone in the public community that would like to address the board? Will the record show that we opened the meeting up for public comment? Okay, at this time there's no public comments. We'll close public comments and let's continue on to our new business, the minutes of the meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes for the February 1st sewer committee meeting? Can I get a motion?
So moved, Byron. Second.
Okay. Second. We have a motion by Director Glennan, a second by who's the second?
It was Director Wood.
Director Woods. Okay. Now roll call vote.
President Rick West,
Yes.
Vice President Byron Glennan,
Yes.
Director Beth Stewart,
Yes.
Director Alfred Wallace,
Yes.
Director Greg Wood.
Yes.
Okay, can we show that the record, let the record show we have a 5-0 vote for approval of the sewer committee meetings of February 1st meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the January 27th, 2021 regular board minutes? Can I get a motion?
So moved, Byron.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, so let the record show Director Glennan with the motion, Director Woods with the second. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
President Rick Webb,
Yes.
Vice President Byron Glennan,
Yes.
Director Ben Stewart,
Yes.
Director Alfred Wallace,
Yes.
Director Grigwood.
Yes.
Let the record show a 5-0 vote for the approval of the regular board meetings from January 27th. Can I get a motion to approve the January 25th Water Committee meeting minutes?
So moved, Byron. Second.
So I have a second by, first, a motion by Director Glennan, a second by Director Wood. Can I get a roll call vote?
President Rick Webb,
Yes.
Vice President Byron Glennan,
Yes.
Director Ben Stewart,
Yes.
Director Alfred Wallace,
Yes.
Director Grigwood.
Yes.
Let the record show for the January 25th Water Committee meeting minutes, a 5-0 vote. Can I get a motion to approve the January 25th, 2021 Government Public Affairs Committee meeting?
So moved, Byron.
I have a second on the second. Was that Wallace or is that Wallace or Stewart?
Wallace.
Wallace. So let the record show that we have a motion by Director Glennan, a second by Director Wallace. Can we have a roll call vote?
President Rick Webb,
Yes.
Vice President Byron Glennan,
Yes.
Director Ben Stewart,
Yes.
Director Alfred Wallace,
Yes.
Director Grigwood.
Yes.
Let the record show we had a 5-0 approval of the minutes from the Public Government Affairs meeting of January 25th. Let's move on to the consent calendar. We have the AP calendar from January 1st, 2021 to February 1st. Correction, January 19th, 2021 to February 1st, 2021. Can I have a motion?
So moved, Byron. I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Director Glennan. And the second, who's the second?
Wallace,
We have a second by Director Wallace. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
President Rick Webb,
Yes?
Vice President Byron Glennan,
Yes.
Director Ben Stewart,
Yes.
Director Alfred Wallace,
Yes.
Director Grigwood.
Yes.
Will the record show that we have a 5-0 vote for the approval of the consent calendar on the consent calendar of the AP? Okay, let's move on to presentation. It's the water reclamation plant project update, and we have Public Works Manager Smith, Bob Smith. Are you there, Bob?
I am. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir. Go ahead with your presentation.
Thank you, sir. Similar to my report at the last board meeting, the primary focus of the plant is the new biolac aeration basin. Since the last meeting, the contractor completed the basin's air piping system. This includes 300 feet of stainless steel header pipe and 17 4-inch laterals that feed the basin's automated valve. They are now in the process of installing the basin's automated valves, anchor posts, and anchor chains, as well as finalizing the connection between the new blowers and the air piping. The electrician also finished the connection between the newly installed backup generator and the automatic transfer switch. This will provide dedicated power to the plant's blowers and air system and will prevent any interruption to the plant's treatment process during a power outage. And that concludes my update for the wastewater treatment plant.
Okay. Directors, any questions for the Public Works Manager? Okay, with no questions. Thank you very much, sir. Let's move on to presentation number 2. I would like to make one amendment to this year. The demonstration guard, I think, would be better suited conservation/demonstration guard. If you could add that into it, or understand it would be more of a conservation demonstration guard. What had happened, I had spoken with Eric Lansgard over at Collins Hardware, and since we received back the 20th Street property, we have the planter boxes in and around there, and I had talked with him, and he was willing to partner up with us to provide plant materials that we could show the community the various plant materials that would work in our community. One of the problems I see is that with the water conservation we've had, a lot of people have gone down to doing nothing with their landscapes, and that creates 2 problems. If you don't have anything holding the soil in place, it all blows, and that creates a hazard. And number 2, a lot of our properties are starting looking real barren. So, Mr. Lansgard had offered up his greenhouse specialist along with himself, and they were willing to help us go in, plant material, and revitalize the planter boxes there at the 20th Street property. He also show the community what would be available, and then he was even willing to carry some of the plant material so the community wouldn't have to venture too far to get it. And I just thought it was a good way. You know, one thing about Eric, he's always helping his community in some capacity. I don't think we've ever, well, I mean myself, have asked him for help on something. He's told us no. And I met with him Christmas Eve, and we walked the property, and he was very excited about it. And Steve and I talked with him about it, and the general manager thought it was something that could be possibly doable. So that's kind of, I think it's going to help spruce up that corner there and allow it to help us spruce up our property a little bit, and also give the community something to look at. Whatever we can ultimately do with that property, it could be a focal point. You can use that something to generate goodwill towards the community. So if any of the directors or the community or anyone has any questions, I can answer them, I will, regarding that. Okay. There's no questions on that. I will let everyone know I'll continue meeting with Mr. Lamsgaard. And like I said, I guess once the weather breaks or we get an opportunity, we'll be back out there and we'll start trying to put something in place. But ultimately, I think it'll be a good thing for the district's wellness towards the community. So with that, let's go into new business. And new business number 1, nominate a candidate to the CSDA Board of Directors, Central Valley seat, for the 22-24 term. And this is our General Manager, Steve Perez. Go ahead, Jeff.
This is an advisory to the board that one of the directors of the Kern County Special District Association, Pat Osley, was interested in running for the Central Valley seat A for CSDA Board of Directors, and requested nomination to that, and to advise the board of the nomination is the purpose of this agenda item, and to get any comments from the board before any nomination would be made, and is the purpose for this agenda item. Having no comment? It's just basically asking us to nominate this person. Is that what that is? Or? Yeah, just this was more informational than a vote on it, because it would be coming from the RCSD as a entity, so the board should authorize the nomination before going forward. Well, isn't I was looking at the map on that, and it covers our area. Now, aren't you on the CSDA Board of Directors? I've got seat C. The seats are based on terms, not location. Okay. Within the Central Valley area, we are part of that, and but it's all inclusive of the Central Valley and our area. But the seat A, B, and C are the staggered terms for the board.
The important thing is that this ensures that our region will have representation, continued representation, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, are there any other questions from any of the other directors?
I wonder if Steve has a recommendation. I recommend, unless there's one of our board members that want to run, we could nominate them. I don't know. I nominate Glenn. I could. I've got plenty of time. Man, that makes it real easy. The question would be that nomination. The question would be, do you think this fellow is the shoe-in? You know. Right. Because he's a member of the association, I think he has probably a chance of getting elected. Yeah. fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so we have no motion to nominate Director Glennan from RCSD, correct?
Yes, and a second.
Wait, do we have okay, so let's slow down for a minute. So Steve was given information about him, so are we going to, the director going to make a motion to, for Director Glennan for CSDA for that position there?
Director Wallace made the motion, and Director
Okay.
seconded the motion.
Okay, so we have a motion by Director Wallace. We have a second by Director Woods. Now, before we vote on it, is this something that Director Glennan can say no to beforehand, or do we vote and then he says yea or nay to it? How does that go with that?
He accepted it. He said he could do it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm fine with, you know, I think this probably clearly is ahead in the run. Well, I look at it this way, is that, you know what, if you get voted in there, I would rather have you in there than somebody else.
Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and let's take, we're going to have a discussion on it, or we just want to go with the vote on it? Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second. Can we get a roll call vote for the nomination for Director Glennan to the California Special District?
President Rick West?
I'd say yes.
Vice President Byron Glennan?
I guess I say yes.
Director Ben Stewart?
Yes.
Director Alfred Wallace?
Yes.
Director Greg Wood?
Yes.
Okay, let the record show that's for the nomination for Director Glennan to the PSD board for the term 2022 to 2024 is 5-0. On to new business number 2. Discuss trash collection issues in Rosamond. And Director Woods, this is your presentation. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. Before I get started, is Bill Parkman on the line? I know he was on earlier, but he had to sign off. Anyhow, what this is that it was something that I brought up to have put on the agenda at the last meeting. We discussed it a little bit, but it's with our trash collection. There's a lot of issues going on in the community as far as the service that we're getting from the county mandated provider that we use, which is Waste Management. And I know that if you go on Facebook, you can see where there's tons and tons and tons of negative comments about the service, ranging from missing them completely and not coming for several days to pick up trash, service when you need something replaced or something addressed. It takes forever for them to respond. And you know, so when I started, I've had issues with them ever since Ben's retired and sold their business to Waste Management. That there's been several instances on my street alone where they just haven't shown up, and you got to make several phone calls to get them to come out. They've got no local call to get a hold of somebody, and it was. I mean, I had a deal with just getting a trash can replaced that was broken and no longer usable. I made several phone calls, and it took 15 days to get my situation taken care of. So I started talking to other people, and I have found from firsthand information from multiple people that they're experiencing the same kind of issues. So Steve brought out, and the board said, you know, we should reach out to, because they are under contract with Kern County, that we should reach out to the RMAC, which I did. And I have been working with Bill Parkman on this, and he has been compiling a list of issues and everything that he's finding on his own on that end. There are right now, the city of Bakersfield has 7 trash haulers. And throughout Kern County, there are 9 different companies that are contracted with the county to collect trash and waste disposal, with Waste Management being one of them. But the thing is, what drove me for this here is that there are 2 government entities in this community that where the people can go to when there's issues. And when I start seeing widespread service issues on a something that everybody has to use, some people pay for them on their taxes. Some people pay a monthly or bill every 3 months. That when people get frustrated in the community, they look to the RMAC or they look to the RCSD to get some kind of relief or get some kind of to vent on. So even though this is an RMAC issue, I feel that it's important that this agency work with the RMAC. Let them take the lead on this, which Bill is doing and the RMAC is doing. But to, address a problem before the community really starts getting up in arms and getting angry about an issue, that we try to work with Waste Management and to get them to be more responsive to the community that they service. And our ultimate goal is to get them to be respond to the community in a professional way and have some kind of local contact, not talking to somebody in Texas or whatever, that you can have issues resolved. So right now, this is where we're at on this. It's more information, but it's to kind of get, I would like to see the RCSD work in concert with the RMAC and to resolve this issue for the community before it becomes a real problem in the community.
When you said resolve the issue, my question is 2 parts. What does resolve the issue look like, number 1? And then number 2, Facebook, I know people love to go to it, but if someone came to me and says it's a Facebook issue versus a hard fact issue, Facebook, at times people they jump on and says me too type of stuff. So do we actually, you Bob, for your particular instance there, is the RMAC, are they taking down people's names and date and times when these things are coming up? Because the other part, hold on just a moment, because the other part of it too, I don't want us to go jump on something, we're going to support the cause there, which is important, but do we jump on something we find out there's only 10 other people and we don't know all the details of it? So the resolution is improved services, so what's RMAC, do we know what RMAC has done to this point, and what kind of involvement do you see us having in this here?
Well, I was hoping that Bill would be able to give us a report. The last time I talked to Bill, he told me that they are building a laundry list of issues and will be working with Waste Management to improve service to our community. Because they are contracted with the county, the first place to work with is the RMAC, because they are the voice of the Board of Supervisors for Rosamond. But I also felt that, and you're right about Facebook. I mean, I haven't posted anything on Facebook and personally get in on there for a long, long time. My thing is that I started talking to other people and getting the same kind of issues that I was having. And then I talked with Bill, and he has talked with several people who are having the same kind of issues. And the only reason I brought up Facebook at all is because a lot of the comments that people were making on there were just confirming the same thing that I heard firsthand from several individuals. It's just the thing is that, you know, we just want to see this community when you're forced to use a certain company to do business with, and you don't have a choice. You know, like if you don't like Dish Network, you can go get DirecTV. If you don't like DirecTV, you can go get Spectrum. You know, and if you don't like your phone company, you can go with Verizon or somebody else. You know, you have a choice of changing, but when it comes to things like your trash service, you have no choice. And when you look down, like on my street, on the several times that it's happened, people's trash cans are full, but they miss the trash pickup by 3 or 4 days. Next thing you know, you got trash blowing all over the neighborhood, into people's front yards and everything else. So, you know, it's something that's not sanitary, and it's unsightly, and it just needs to, these things need to be worked with. And I felt by having our agency working with the RMAC that they may be more, it might give a little bit more attention to the issues here instead of just paying lip service. Steve, are they under the, like Edison's under, does the public utility?
No, they're a franchise of the county. The county issues franchise for trash haulers, and the Department of Waste Management, Kern County Waste Management, monitors all the franchisees, and they hold their feet to the fire. The proper place is to go to get the message to the county supervisor or the director of waste management within the county of Kern. Now, I know they both have the same name, but they have different roles. The county of Kern holds that franchise. They hold them contractually to do certain things. I'm one of those people that are complaining. We have had on our street out, as you know, that sometimes they don't pick up the trash. Sometimes you have no clue what time they're going to pick up the trash. And like you said, Greg, when you call Waste Management, you might get somebody to respond, but it might be days before. We've had trash for 4 or 5 days, like you said, on our street. And the only thing that you can compare it to is the service that you had before. And it didn't happen like that. No. So the responsiveness of waste management is in the toilet. And it has been, and I've had complaints personally, people complaining to me about how displeased they are with waste management.
Yeah. So the church said he didn't pick it up. And I wrote over, my wife wrote over the bill. Anyway, not even picking it up.
So having said that, because there's a department within the county concerned, the proper place is to the supervisor's representative, which is the RMAC, to take issues to him and see if he can't get his Department of Waste Management to look into the many complaints of the community about responsiveness and picking up the trash on a regular basis. By law, they have to pick up that trash every 7 days.
Right.
And so I think a recommendation to the RMAC with any of the
to take any action. It's not our place. But what I am asking is that this board lends its voice to the RMAC to give them a little more oomph when they're dealing with waste management, to basically show our support and to help hold waste management's feet to the fire, and our backing to the RMAC will help them accomplish that goal. I think that's what I'm trying to get us to be able to do and offer to the RMAC, is to put our voice behind their voice.
I think you're almost going to have to do it on a personal basis, because people that don't know anything about it, the board members don't know anything about it, you can't really say a whole lot, can you?
No.
Well, here's Greg, how about this as a possible way that we can support them? Why don't you, and as any of the other board members would like to, why don't, Greg, you continue to work with them, and then you can report back to the board. And Steve just gave us some avenues, to ensure that the AVNAC's pursuing. And I think the other part is that you brought up the wellness part of it. If trash is going uncollected or whatnot or whatever, they are good about collecting our money. So, that has to be a two-way street. But why don't you continue to work on that part, Greg, there, and perhaps at some point, if need be, maybe you can come back and let the board know they're making progress, slow progress, no progress. But ultimately, I think this is something that, just like with the water and sewer, that touches everybody in that community there, because it's a necessity. It's not an option to get the trash picked up. It's a necessity. And like I said, Director Long made mention about how many people, the directors may not be aware of it, but I think that is something that is probably one of those problems right under radar. And because they have no one else to tell about it, that's how it probably came to you. So let's see what we can do to support them. And if you'd like to, Greg, why don't you continue to take the lead on it? And if anyone else wants to help Greg with it, I'll be a go-to for him. That'll work. If not, I think that's a good place to start there. Any other directors, any other comments regarding that matter? Director Woods, thank you very much for bringing it to our attention. Keep us apprised of it, and like I said, I think it's something that impacts all of us. We're all to be aware of it. Let's go ahead and move to new business number 3, is to approve the rebranding of the Rcsd to include the logo. Okay, that's Director Woods. This is something that was discussed before, I think, with the director. Stewart has addressed this, yeah. So go ahead, Greg, and what are we talking about there? Go ahead.
Okay, I wanted this brought back to the board because we had talked about this pretty extensively before the pandemic, and it was especially after we came back from a conference, and the importance of people knowing what the RCSD is, who we are, what we do, and it's important on the logo, but it's also important on when people see our trucks and see the logo, they know exactly what this agency is, what the agency represents. And this agency deals with water and sewage. That's what we deal with right now. Yes, we still have the powers of graffiti abatement, and we don't have parks recreation powers, but we are supportive of parks. But the point is that we handle water reclamation and sewage, because when our new treatment facility comes online, it is a water reclamation facility, not just sewage treatment anymore, and sewer collection. And Ben had come up with a really nice looking logo. I know he had sent it to Steve, and but I would like to focus on getting the rebranding of our agency to where when people see RCSD They know what we do. They know what we're about. We're not just a water company, or we're not just, some people think that when there's an issue with roads and things of that nature, that we're in charge of that too. So I think it's important to rebrand ourselves to where people know exactly the functions of this agency. And it helps us serve the community better by, if they know what we do, then it's a lot easier to serve the community in a more efficient way. And that's why I asked for this to be brought back, that I would like, the board has given direction to our general manager in the past, and I don't know if he needs a vote by the board or what he needs from the board to continue on this path to bring something back to the board at a future date.
I think the discussion is enough that we can start working on it.
Okay.
I have one relationship to the rebranding. This is to John and Brock. If they're listening, I hope they're listening. John had to get off the call. Can we require our employees to be branded with the new logo?
I don't know.
Rock, how does that sound, Rock?
I fully support the idea.
Only if they have a brand, because it's rebranding, okay? So if they don't already have a brand, we can't do it.
Okay. Is there any other discussion for new business number 3? What I would ask, though, Director Stewart, you had come up with that initially, and you got it over to Steve. Make sure that any of your ideas go along with it, because I think that little conversation that you talked with the other board members about with it, that was kind of spot on as far as what the direction we're headed in. And thank you, Director Woods, for bringing it to our attention to keep it in the forefront. If there's no other comments about it, let's move on to new business number 4, the adopt. So, Steve, you real quick before we go on, so new business number 3, you have the direction to work on the new logo and to get something back to us, correct?
Correct.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Okay, let's move on to new business number 4, adoption resolution 2021-1, amending the purchase and expense authorization policy of the administrative handbook. The presenter will be General Manager Steve Perez.
If you recall, when COVID hit, we requested the board to extend the amount of the prior authorization for expenditures that weren't in the budget. The old amount was $25,000, and we extended that to a $50,000 on a temporary basis. But we're coming up on that reauthorization at this point, and the way things are evolving and growing, staff has discussed that we ought to make this a permanent number.
Stewart.
That was Wood.
Woods, okay. So we have a motion by Director Stewart. We have a second by Director Woods. Can we get a roll call vote, please?
Correction. A motion by Director Glennan, second by Director Wood.
Okay, motion by Director Glennan, second by Director Woods for the adoption resolution 2021-1. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
President Rick West.
Yes.
Vice President Byron Glennan.
Yes.
Director Ben Stewart.
Yes.
Director Alfred Wallace.
Yes.
Director Greg White.
Yes.
Let the record reflect that resolution adopted 5-0. Let's move on to Director reports, comments, and future agenda items. Let's start with Director Stewart. You have the floor, sir.
Good evening, everybody. I don't have a lot tonight like normal. I would like to talk about like how Wood was talking with the logo. I think the biggest point is we want to make sure that people know what Rosamond Rcsd is required to do. So one of the things that we're looking into on the sewer committee is assessment and not assessment, assessing our sewer system and their the infrastructure and making sure that it's up to snuff and that it's somebody was telling me the other day, and I've probably used it so many times, that we're in the business of magic. It's magic when your water turns on, when you go to the faucet. You don't realize how it gets there, but it's magic when it comes on. Also, when you flush the toilet, it disappears. That's magic. The only time it's not magic is when it's not working. So, I think our biggest goal, and like I said before, my biggest goal is to get out the project that we're working on and our story, our version of the story. So that's all I got for tonight.
Thank you, Director Stewart. Director Wallace, what do you have for us, sir?
Oh, no comment tonight.
All right, thank you. Director Glennan?
The AVAC board put Lane back on the board to replace his son who passed away. And there was some discussion about water coming from the Willow Springs Water Bank being purchased by AVAC. Also, the high-speed rail has a few glitches, but it's moving forward on a regular basis through the Central Valley. Nothing seems to be slowing that down. Even borrowing more money it just keeps getting approved, especially the federal money. And I don't know where Biden will be on that, but it's very likely it's the kind of project he would love to spend money on. So I think the federal government will be further behind stronger behind the high-speed rail. And that's about it.
Thank you, Director Glennan. Director Woods?
No comment.
Okay, all I will have to say tonight, folks, those of you that were able to attend the meeting online, thank you very much. And hopefully the vaccine will continue to work its way through and we'll get ourselves vaccinated. And our community and the state, the city, the world as a whole will continue to grow. I'm a little optimistic when I see what's going on with the vaccination, with the people getting it. So I hope that comes to pass for us. On to General Counsel update.
Nothing to report.
All right, thank you, sir. General Manager update.
I just got to say that I'm almost updated out, but the water reclamation plant, a major project, is basically in the downhill slide because we're on target and we're looking at probably a May completion. And I've got to just say that nothing ever goes real smooth, but I got to take my hat off to our staff for staying on top of things to make this project go the way it has. Looks like we'll complete it on time. Hopefully we'll be not too far over budget. Some of that is because we've added some things as we saw necessary to do. And so I just got to say thank you to the staff and all their hard work on it.
Well, thank you, Ray. I'm sure they appreciate that. Thank you for that, Steve. The Assistant General Manager update. What do you have for us?
I have nothing to report tonight.
Okay. And then we have Public Works. Is it John or Brock? Who's going to give us an update on both of you?
You have Brock tonight, so thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir.
We would like to let the board know that the district just completed the inspection and cleaning of 2 of our water storage tanks. This routine maintenance allows us to inspect the condition of the tanks and ensure consistent water quality within our system. We'll be using this as a planning tool to forecast tank recoating schedules, but based on the results of our inspections, neither of these tanks will be recoating in the near future.
Outstanding. That's it?
That's all I have.
Okay, I have a question for you three. Brock, Lizette, or Steve. How about the other good news about the reimbursement we got? Nobody? Comment on that one?
Go ahead, Lizette.
Yes, good evening. So we received our reimbursement from Kern County for the COVID-related expenses. And I don't have the exact figure in front of me, but it was roughly around $85,000. And we have an additional $20,000 that we're going to be submitting for reimbursement as well.
So yeah, I just wanted, they told me that we were in a meeting the other day, I think perhaps the finance committee, in one of the meetings I met with them. The three of you folks, thank you very much for the effort on that there. I know when it came up, you guys were getting notes and, reports together, numbers together about what had been expended. And I appreciate the effort of that part there because we got something back fairly quickly. And I appreciate you guys on that one there.
That was a product, Mr. President, of staff's hard work and staying on top of the expenses for everything COVID related. And without them staying on top of that, we wouldn't be able to put in for the reimbursements that were available. Most of the reimbursements that came down to special districts such as the Rcsd were a product of CSDA's hard work in working on the legislative staff in California as well as our congressional staff that went to bat for special districts, recognizing that we are a vital provider of service, and it took a letter campaign that as a director on the state board I participated in also, and it was effective. So your state organization worked real hard, so hats off to them and our Central Valley representative.
Well, thank you guys all, and thank you guys for the hard work. $75,000, that goes back, that helps us cover needs, so thank you guys very much for the effort. With that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
So we have a motion by Director Glennan. Is that Woods that gave the second?
Yeah.
Okay, can we have a roll call vote, please?
President Rick West,
Yes.
Vice President Byron Glennan,
Yes.
Director Ben Stewart,
Yes.
Director Alfred Wallace,
Yeah.
Director Greg White.
Yes.
We have a 5, let the record show we have a 5-0 vote for an adjournment. We'll see everybody next meeting. Good night, folks.
Good night.
Good night.